Welcome back, Midwest Elevation. I am so excited to be here with my dear friend, Bonnie Hutchinson. We are going to be talking today about trust, and we'll get into the details of that. But Bonnie is here. She is a phenomenal writer, a wonderful coach and mentor to many. And she works primarily with women who are in the power stage of their lives. So I think I am entering that stage, and I'm so excited about the possibilities as we age. So welcome, Bonnie. So glad to have you here today.
And I'm delighted to be here.
Awesome. So you have something super exciting coming up. And I want to obviously know all about it. But the theme here is trust. So tell us, why trust? What is this that's coming up?
The answer to why trust comes in what came to me. Here's the story. A friend and I, we open space for each other to go into a deeper meditative. And so I hold space for her when she accesses inner wisdom, she holds space, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, it's something we do.
Lovely. Yeah.
So, and usually I have a specific question, not always, but anyway. So this isn't very long ago, a couple of weeks ago, she's holding space for me. I don't remember what my question was, but what popped in my mind was 3 webinars, theme of trust. There also was a message about my ability to trust and the phrase selective trust. And the message was selective trust doesn't necessarily serve you well.
Wow, that's powerful.
And that's, what do you mean?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah. Could you say it, could you add a few bullet points, whoever you, anyway. So here's what I know so far. Session 1 is about getting better and better at being able to trust what comes from within yourself. So those intuitions, those hunches, when can you trust them? When can you not? I would say there are probably very few, if any of us, that have not felt self-doubt sometimes.
For sure.
Like you get an idea of, oh, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that, or maybe this isn't as good as I thought, whatever. And then our next thing is we doubt what we doubt our own perceptions.
Yes.
I don't think I'm the only one that I know. I'm not the only one that has that experience. And I'm not sure, this may be sexist, but I think women are more inclined to doubt themselves than men are. I'm not sure that's even relevant to anything, but we do have we're not sure if we can trust what comes to us. So the whole theme of the first of the 3 webinars is about getting better and better at discerning when you get this kind of impression or that kind of impression or this kind of thought, what can you use about the signals that your body gives you?
Yeah.
Or your emotions. Like basically the question is, how do you know when it's truth?
Oh, I love that.
How do you know when it's valid?
And that word discernment is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. And none of us, I mean, it's all very well to say you need to learn to trust. And I want to trust with discernment. Thanks very much. Like none of us wants to be gullible. And there, again, probably are very few people on the planet that have never been sort of, well, they were maybe not gullible, but something they trusted turned out not to be trustworthy. Someone or something or so. So trust with discernment. And that's all about getting more and more aware of, because our body does send signals. Like maybe, if I get a kind of creepy feeling in my solar plexus, what I know so far is pay attention. Now, it doesn't have vocabulary, like it'd be nice if you could just like get a couple of bullet points.
Yeah.
But we can, so at one point in my life, I'd get a twitch in this eye and the message was just pay attention. Something going on here that like it didn't say, here's what you should pay attention to.
Right.
But at another time, it was a twinge in my little toe on my right foot. Anyway, most of us are familiar with some of the, like when you get that sick feeling in your stomach, that's hard to ignore, and you shouldn't ignore it.
Right.
But there's some questions like, is there really something to be frightened about here? So that's the first session, is getting more and more discerning about feeling confident about trusting what comes to you when you can and when you can't. And some tools and techniques and things like that. The second session is about how can you trust, or what methods can you use to assess what's trustworthy that comes from the outside world. So things that you might hear from other people, opportunities that present themselves in the, I do remember when a guy knocked on the door of our home, and for the low price of $400 cash, we were going to be guaranteed another $2,000 by Friday.
Sure.
I thought perhaps we should check this out. Anyway, we get the...
Sounds too good to be true, yeah.
Yeah, it quite often is too good to be true, but not always. So hate to miss out. Anyway, so it's about discerning what can you use within yourself to discern when you can trust that's something that's coming at you from the environment. You can trust the perceptions or don't trust what that message is. So that's trust in regard to what comes to you from the external world. And the third session, which I'm particularly excited about, is getting better and better at trusting our connection, or our ability to hear from the divine, from higher consciousness, higher intelligence. And again, anyone that's on this call will have had experiences that felt like maybe you're in a deep meditative state, and what comes to you is have 3 webinars about trust. But so, and I suspect most of us, if not all of us, have sometimes said, so is this really anything, or am I just making this all up? Like,
yeah.
So do I trust, again, do I trust my perceptions about what appears to be coming from a higher intelligence? And so that's the theme of the 3 trust webinars. And I am beyond excited to be able to offer those. So they are 1 hour each, 60 minutes. The dates are Monday, February 28th, Thursday, March the 3rd, and then the following Monday, March the 7th. And that too, like the dates were guided. I sat down and said, okay, 3 webinars, what dates? February 28th. Okay. So this whole adventure it's an adventure in trust for me too. And
it is. I was just gonna say, this is like the whole experience for you is how, it's like you're the model for how to use your discernment, for how to connect to that mind, to how to, assess, okay, when am I gonna just listen and follow, and what are the things that
so by the end of the 3 sessions, my intention, also guided, but that each of us that are participating in the 3 webinars, we are more and more discerning about the whether it's our emotions, our thoughts, or our physical sensations, or however we experience a connection with higher intelligence, or being immersed in higher intelligence, or our version of that, that we are more and more discerning about when those experiences are trustworthy, that we can say, yes, this is actual discerning truth. Yes, this is for my highest good. And when we think something's off, So stop.
Yeah, that just to that
Yeah.
notion to take the
Don't,
pause and to look
yeah,
at it more closely and figure out. Yeah.
yeah. And ask open-ended questions or so like, is this really for my highest good? Is it really me that's meant to do this? Questions like that.
Mm-hmm.
And incidentally, asking open-ended questions is a really good technique for discerning if something is trustworthy or not.
Mm-hmm.
So does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. I should mention in the original 3 webinars, Theme of Trust, it also said, and it costs $195 Canadian. The price came to me in the,
That's amazing.
yeah. So just that translates to somewhere around $145 or $150 US. But anyway, that just so people
Well
don't.
worth every penny. I mean, this is so important because we have this like lifelong habit of doubting. It's like, okay, I got this message. Now what? What's happening? What, oh, did I make it up? Did I, or even like not paying attention to those bodily sensations, right? Like, oh, I just have to like, head down, push through. But maybe that's, yeah.
That whole in part of sort of North American culture, or at least US and Canada. I don't know enough about Mexico to know, but we're kind of programmed to be rational. We're not kind of programmed to be rational. Our culture places a lot of value on what you can explain, define in rational ways. And I am not dissing that at all.
Right.
It's a really
that has its purpose. Right.
Yeah, to have. And then as humanity evolves, as each of us is expanding more into other kinds of consciousness, which you are, I am, anyone watching this is on that journey in some way. That so hard data isn't, or hard data in the way that a rational mind perceives hard data. It's not always available to us. So what else can we go? Because we still don't want to be gullible.
Right. We still need to have those tools to figure out.
Getting more discerning about our own signals. And for me, at least, there are both emotional and physical things I can, and I kind of ignored the emotional ones for a while until I realized, no, wait a minute. If I feel uneasy in an undefined uneasiness, then stop.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the whole thing is wrong, but something is off. So just stop and open yourself to what should I be aware of that I haven't noticed yet.
I love that, right? That the trust, knowing to trust is really about the openness and the awareness and the perception and how we can discern all the information coming in.
Yeah. So
lovely. Well, I'm excited. So it starts Monday, the 28th is the first webinar. So we'll be sure to get a link down in the comments for our friends here to register. And, if you have any questions as you're watching today, put them in the comments for us. We'll come back and take a look and answer questions. I'm so appreciative of you, Bonnie, listening and trusting your own intuition, your own connection, and offering this that's so meaningful for so many people who are, on this journey.
Yeah. Something else besides anyone on this call is certainly on a journey of increasing spiritual discernment and growth. But just in the regular 3D world, there's so much misinformation and divisiveness, and like it's a turbulent time. Yeah. And so in a time of turbulence too, it's very nice to be able to find the place where, okay, if it has these characteristics, I can trust it. This is the eye of the hurricane. The still point. This is the place where I can trust what comes to me. So that too, sort of, it's not only our own personal journey, it's humanity's journey that we're part of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The
Yeah.
collective journey for sure.
Yeah,
Not
yes,
gonna
which you
be-
talk about,
Yes.
collective conversations. Yeah,
Mm, beautiful. Well, I'm so excited for you, Bonnie, and we'll get that information out to folks. And I can't wait to see what comes next for you.
me too.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.